Hey, what's up, guys? As you can see, I've got a lot better lighting today. I'm actually in my office at work, and I don't know why it's the same kind of lighting I have in my house, but it just works so much better. So I want to give you guys an update on what I've been doing with my job search. It's kind of a totally new experience for me because it's actually going really well, and I just don't even know what to do with myself because of it. So, I think as I mentioned in my last video, I had a bunch of interviews scheduled for this past Monday, which was like the 23rd or something like that. So I'll tell you how those went, and tell you what's going on now. Basically, I had 3 interviews, an in-person interview, a phone interview, and then a career fair that I went to on Monday. They were all the way around the Beltway in Columbus. Also, that turned out to be the day that everyone that I've applied with in the last 2 months or so decided to call me that day and try to schedule an interview. So it was nice, but it was kind of a pain in the ass because unless they wanted to interview me that day, they're going to have to wait at least a week. So basically what happened is I had my first interview in the morning. That was at an apartment complex called Heathermore in Bedford Commons. And met Andrea, who's the property manager there. She was really cool and we got along. I actually felt pretty bad because she gave me her card afterward, asked me to email her any questions I had afterward. Totally forgot about it, put it off for like 4 days, and then finally last night I was just like, oh, haven't heard for 4 days. I'm obviously not getting the job, and it's going to be weird if I email questions now. So I then had a phone interview at 1 o'clock, which, by the way, is really awkward to do if it's like negative 20 degrees outside, which it was that day in Columbus. And even more awkward when you can't find a good place to do it inside that's like not near people, so you just decide to go in Bed Bath & Beyond and hang out in one of their sections for like a half an hour doing a phone interview. I'm kind of surprised I didn't get kicked out of there. So anyway, that went really well, and turns out the dude liked me so much that even though I applied for a leasing consultant position, he's like, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I filled that position. He's like, but I have an assistant manager position at this property. It's a property in New Albany, which is a really nice section of town. And he's like, I'd love to forward your application on to the property manager. So I started out, it is a long story, I won't go into it. It started out kind of on bad terms with that recruiter. He ended up really liking me, kind of sold me on the job. And what really sold me on the job was when I looked on Glassdoor for how much that position makes. And it's an average of $18.79 an hour plus commission, and then they have like a ton of discounts too. One of which is going to be really helpful to me because that's paying for your uniform, which is not really a uniform, it's just dressing up. But hey, I'm poor. I've got like 2 nice suits, 2 nice ties, 3 nice button-down shirts. That's it. I don't even have dress pants. I just wear my suit pants. And I literally have no dress shoes. So, I'd like to look nice, but I'm definitely going to have to drop at least several $100s, but probably several grand, honestly, to have a full wardrobe that's even decent. So it's great that they're going to at least pay part of that. And I do have some money saved up to do that too. The only downfall of that company over the other ones that I've done is I am planning on going back to school this fall, just part-time, and the other companies have tuition reimbursement. Then again, this one pays at least $5 an hour more than the other ones, so I can probably afford the tuition. And then in the afternoon, I had a career fair at this place called The Barn, and it's legit a barn. There's an old farmhouse, and there's a barn that they've turned into the community center for all these different apartment complexes. It's an Edwards community job, and unfortunately I didn't get to talk to the recruiter who I had connected with on LinkedIn. She was there, but she was interviewing another candidate, and I talked to a guy named Joe, who I assume is like the owner of the company. He seemed like a business owner type guy. But we had a really good interview. He seemed to think that I was overqualified, but it wasn't terrible. I have not heard anything back from them. I think that I would have been a really good fit for their properties, especially for the one called the Lofts, which they're building across the street from where the barn was. But I'm not too upset. I mean, I have a lot of prospects. So fast forward past Monday. Today's Friday, so within the last few days. I did email the recruiter that I had the phone interview with, and I told him, I was like, hey, I have a couple questions. He answered them for me, nothing special there, but then he put me in contact with the property manager. Property manager, I talked to her, had some trouble getting a hold of her, but finally talked to her Wednesday. And come to find out, she went to Marietta College as well. So hopefully that'll help me. I've never actually run into that before. I mean, Marietta's such a small college in the middle of nowhere. Like, people have heard of it because of the reputation, but you don't meet people that go there. So that's pretty cool. That's going to help me out a lot, I really hope. So I wasn't even trying to get management positions, but man, this is a great opportunity. Hell, I'm trying to pay off debt. This is going to be an absolute godsend. So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I'm trying not to get so overly excited about it. But man, just to have this opportunity, like, I'm so excited. I'm so hopeful. So, anyway, I did talk to her, and we scheduled an interview for this coming Monday, which is, I think, like March 2nd. I've got an interview with her at like 10:30 a.m., and I'm going to study for this interview. I'm going to put on my good suit, not even the one I wore the other day, my good suit. I'm going to really try to knock this out of the park and get this job. And not only that, but this matches up with my timeline. Like they said, it'd be 2 to 3 weeks for interviews, and then 2 to 3 week notice, from the time they give me the offer letter to the time that I would be leaving and my current property and starting with theirs. Pretty much puts me at the end of April, which is freaking great because that's when my hours are supposed to be cut here, and I was planning on moving to Columbus May 1st. So if I have to do any commuting, it's going to be for a week, 2 at most. And that's great because, depending on where I'm going up there, it's like an hour and 45-minute drive each way. So, okay, now here's the deal. I also had a phone interview at some point. I don't even remember when it was, but it's with the same company that owns Heathermore. It's at a place in Grove City, which is on the south side of town, called Sterling Park. Now, the girl seems really cool. Like, she went to a college in West Virginia that I'm familiar with. She's from West Virginia as well. She's from Huntington. I'm thinking of it as a backup right now. There are actually some pluses to that property over the other one, but I just don't know. I'm not sure what to do. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go this Monday, and I have a morning interview, the one I want to knock out of the park. Then at 2:30, I have an interview at Sterling Park in Grove City. So now this is where it gets real complicated. I got a phone call this morning on my lunch break, got a voicemail from Heathermore offering me the job. They want to offer me $14 an hour, plus commission, bonuses. It doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it's $1 more per hour than I make now. And it's 19 more hours per paycheck, or 38 more hours per month than I'm working now. So, that's like, basically, think around 38 up to 40, think 40-hour weeks. It's basically like I'm only working 3 out of the 4 weeks of the year, or of the month, and how much more money would I make if I worked a whole another week? So it's actually going to be a significant increase. And I think the commission is going to be a little more too. Plus they have tuition reimbursement and some other stuff. So I feel kind of bad turning it down, but it puts me in a situation where it's only the end of February. if I put in my 2 weeks right now, that would still leave me at least a month and a half of commuting. 180 or so miles a day, 5 days a week. It's just going to be a mess. And so I'm really conflicted about what to do about some of that stuff. So I told you about Heather Moore, I told you about Sterling Park, I told you about the other one, which I'm not going to name because I think that's the one I'm going to take if they offer it to me, and I don't want people being creeps. So I think I've told you everything about that. So then the issues I ran into is timing. I basically applied for jobs too early. The other thing that I'm running into is my fraternity brother, who I'm going to be rooming with, hopefully, has kind of been a pain in the ass because he has not been real forward in contacting me. Like, we've been trying to set up a date of, like, going up there and looking at apartments, and, like, he'll be like, oh, well, I have Mondays off, and then, like, I don't ever hear from him. And it's, like, me constantly prodding and pushing him, and I'm hesitant because I was warned by some of our fraternity brothers not to room with him. A few years ago, he actually screwed over some of the fraternity brothers by signing a lease with them and then, like, quitting school and dipping out and leaving them all paying more than they could afford, and I'm afraid that's going to happen. And it's not just a simple situation of me going and getting a 1-bedroom because I can't afford it. If I get a 2-bedroom pretty much anywhere up there, I'm going to pay exactly what I'm paying now, which is going to help me. But if I get a 1-bedroom, I'm going to be paying a little more than double what I'm paying now. And that's, overall, even though I'll be making more, it's not going to make that much a difference in my situation. And it's just not going to help. So anyway, I'm getting real irritated with him. I'm hoping that he comes around. I'm going to keep prodding him, but, like he gave me the example today that he made a really bad financial decision, that he bought this new car, and with his insurance, it's like $600 a month that he's paying. So he's like, well, I have a good union job, but I feel like I don't make any money. Well, why did you buy a car that has a $600 a month payment? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And that worries me, that he makes bad financial decisions like that, because what if he doesn't pay his rent? I can't pay his other half. And, but I don't have a whole lot of other options. Other than my little brother in my fraternity should find out next week if he gets a job at Abercrombie & Fitch home office, which would be awesome because I'm an old A&F manager, and the preferred tenantry at my new apartment complex is A&F people. I'm totally all about that life, all right? Like, I'm so brand positive. So I'm totally looking forward to it. And I'm going to be so proud of my little, so happy that he's working at home office. Anyway, I just really hope he gets the job. And on top of that, if I could actually get Josh to come through with this, and get my little, we could get a 3-bedroom. Hell, it's even cheaper per person then. I'm totally down for that. So anyway, guys, basically, I called Heather Moore back today, and I said, hey, I got this job offer not an offer, but offer of an interview on Monday for this other position that pays way more than a leasing position. I gotta take the opportunity. And she was a little disappointed, but she's like, you know what, I understand. She's like, you just keep me in the loop, let me know what's going on. She's like, I do want to hire somebody soon, but, I can give you a little time. And I think that's reasonable. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do everything in my power to get this job. And basically, Monday I'm going to knock that first interview out of the park. My second interview Monday, I'm going to go for it and just see what happens. I'll probably have to explain the same situation to them. And then hopefully I can get a response pretty soon from the new place, the place that I want the job at. So Anyway, guys, all the stuff that I've been worrying about, all my finances, paying my student loans, not saving for retirement, not having an emergency fund, basically all those things they're going to be just so in the past. I know it's going to take me a few months to get everything started, but money, man, it doesn't equal happiness, although sometimes I really think it does. But man, it's pretty damn close. Um, saves you from stress, and not being stressed is happiness. So anyway, that's gonna take up a lot of my life. Oh, and I'm going to be posting this video today, and I'm going to be posting probably one other one. Look for more videos, especially job search videos, coming up here soon. I mean, I don't know how many to say there's going to be, just depending on how long I'm looking for jobs. I'm probably going to have some intro to Columbus videos when I get moved up there. I've also got some ideas of just like pop culture phenomenon, and also just some commentary that I have on stuff that's going to come up. And let me know what you guys want me to do videos on. I've just been doing them on my eclectic interests of like genealogy and random shit. So if you guys have any ideas of what you want me to talk about, I am planning on doing some constructive videos, like one in particular of how to find housing in Athens, Ohio, and that would be a really useful one, I think. So if you want me to do some videos that are kind of how-to or helpful, things like that, I can do that rather than just like vlogging in my opinions. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Also, if you're in the Columbus area, leave me a comment, let me know. We're going to do a collaboration video or something like that. I'd love to meet some other YouTubers. Other than that, I'm going to put this up, and later tonight, check out my super short but kind of cool video. Later.